What's going on, everybody, and welcome to J Sports Seattle. Now, before I start this video, I would like to address the hiatus I went on. I'd like to apologize for it again, for another hiatus. I've been extremely busy over the break that I've had from school. I got an internship, so I've been extremely productive, extremely busy. Even though I've been busy, I've still been able to watch my boys and still, think about what's been going on with the team. I was even at the game yesterday because I was not about to miss a chance to see the Seahawks come into town, especially since I'm not going to be able to see them play for another year, considering that we missed the playoffs. But I'm here. School just started back up, but it's a downtime, so I thought I'd get this video out. It's actually going to be a two-parter, considering that I've been on a hiatus. Since I have not been releasing videos on a regular basis like I've been hoping to. These videos will be longer. These two videos that I'm going to release will be longer. Expecting 20-25 plus minutes. So if you like 20-minute long videos, 20 plus minute long videos, this is the video for you. If not, it's okay too. But I will just be going over the season. This is like in these videos, I'm going to talk about going over the season, talk about the first half of the season versus the second half. Talk about Pete Carroll. Talk about individual players. Talk about just the overall. I'm going to also talk about the playoff picture and who I think is going to win the Super Bowl. Talk about our defense. Talk about our offense. Talk about what I think needs to be done in the offseason. And our opponents for next year as well. So if you like the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share for more Seahawks and Seattle sports content. Without further ado, let's get on with the video or videos. All right. So as we all know, Seahawks won in a nail biter and another nail biter yesterday, 21-20 on January 7th. Like I said, I was at this game, and I knew going into this game, I knew it was going to be a close game. Knowing that the Seahawks always play their opponents close, no matter how good or how bad they are, unless it's the Ravens or the Niners, who are far superior teams than we are. We always play down to our opponents, and that's been the mantra for a Pete Carroll led team for the past 6-7 years. It's a bittersweet ending because even though I was happy that we got the comeback win. It sucks because we did not make the playoffs because the Packers won against the Bears, so we missed the playoffs because they had a better conference record than us. And I hate the fact that we had to rely, again, this is the second straight year that we had to rely on another team to get into the playoffs. So instead of controlling our own destiny, destiny was controlling our team. So I don't like that we had to do that back-to-back years. And that does stem down to Pete Carroll, and it stem down to the players. And I will get to Pete Carroll in a minute. But before I do that, I would like to give my predictions for who's going to make the Super Bowl this year and who is going to win it. So, as we all know, Super Bowl 58 is played in Las Vegas at Allegiant Stadium. Las Vegas is about 4.5 hours away from me in Phoenix. My prediction is that the Ravens will win the Super Bowl. They are the best team in the league. They have shown that they cannot be stopped when they have all their starters in and fully healthy, or at least as healthy as they can be. That's my prediction for winning the Super Bowl. Now, speaking of the Super Bowl, I would like to point something out. So these are the Super Bowl colors. You want to notice something? You want to notice something about this screen that just pops out that seems weird? I'll give you a second to find it. Have you found it? If not, I got you. So, if you notice, the top two teams in each conference have the same colors as the colors of the Super Bowl. Now, I'm sure you guys have heard of the Super Bowl logo theory, which is that the colors of the Super Bowl logo are the same as the teams that make the Super Bowl. For example, in the 2020 season, the colors of the Super Bowl logo were a cream and red color. What are the two teams in the league that have a cream colored jersey and a red jersey? The Buccaneers, who have the the throwback cream colored jerseys, and then the Chiefs, who have red colored jerseys. So it was, and guess who made the Super Bowl that year? It was the Bucks and the Chiefs. Going to 2021, the 2021 season, the colors of the Super Bowl logo were orange and yellow. Who are the two teams that made the Super Bowl that year? The Rams and the Bengals. What colors are those teams? Rams yellow, Bengals orange. Last year, the 2022 season, what were the colors of the logo, the Super Bowl logo? It was green and red. Who were the two teams that made the Super Bowl? The Eagles and the Chiefs. What colors do those teams have? The Eagles green and the Chiefs red. Now, following that pattern, if it is the same thing this year and the colors being purple and red, then it's going to be a Ravens-Niners Super Bowl. And I had a feeling it was going to be a Ravens-Niners Super Bowl even back when the season started. Because, like I said, the Ravens are unstoppable and the Niners are unstoppable. So, it's probably going to be Ravens. If it is Ravens-Niners Super Bowl, that is 4 straight seasons that the Super Bowl colors for the logo is the same as the teams that make it. And for all you guys out there that think the league is rigged, well, I mean, this kind of supports your theory, because that it's one thing if it's just 1 year, but this would be 4 straight years. I mean, it's already suspicious enough that it's been 3 straight years, but if it's 4 straight years that the colors of the Super Bowl logo are the same as the teams that make it, it's got to be rigged somehow, right? Because it basically means that the Super Bowl, the teams in the Super Bowl are predetermined each season. So, but yeah, that is weird to think about. Raven, like I said, overall, I think the Ravens are going to win the Super Bowl, because they have a complete team. Their defenses, they have the best defense in the league, best scoring defense in the league. Lamar's unstoppable. They have amazing wide receivers, amazing weapons. Lamar is cracked. They're gonna win it all. So that is my prediction for the Super Bowl. And then looking at us, we're just out of the playoff picture at 9-8, and it's not fun. It was not fun to see us win this game, or see us miss the playoffs even if we did win this game. It's just not fun. So, not happy with the way the season went, especially since I had us going 11-6. I didn't have us winning the division. I did have us at least being like a 5th seed, where the Eagles are right now. I had us where the Eagles were supposed to be. This is where I had the Eagles at, because if we were at where the Eagles are, we would face the Buccaneers, and the NFC South is the weakest division in the league. So that would be a sort of easy win for us. And that's not okay. That is not okay. This is back-to-back seasons that we've been mediocre, and then this season we are mediocre again, and it cost us a playoff spot. So there's a lot that needs to be done in the offseason. And first things first is, I'm sure a lot of you guys want Pete Carroll fired, but for any of you that want Pete Carroll fired, I am sorry. I'm very sorry, but according to Ari Meirov, despite speculation that he might retire, Seahawks head coach Pete Carroll said at Seattle Sports that he plans to return for his age 73 season next year in 2024. Or this year, I should say. I'm not worn out. I'm not tired. I'm sure you guys are not happy to hear that, but we are stuck with Carroll for at least one more season. But the thing is this next season could be his last season, because he is under contract until the 2025 season. So after this season, he's a free agent, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I can actually fact check that. Give me a second. Pete Carroll contract. Okay, so Carroll is under contract through 2024 with a 2025 option. So basically, this is Pete Carroll's last year if he does not perform. So he's on the hot seat. So if he does not perform this year, like if we go 9-8 again, or we miss the playoffs again, or another first-round exit, he's going to be gone. He's not going to be resigned, and he's probably going to go into retirement. But I want him to go. I do want him to leave. It's just his coaching style just doesn't work anymore, and that's okay. You know, he's been in the league for 14 years. He's going to be going on to 15. It's time for him to pack it up. You know, he brought us a Super Bowl. He brought us. He won us a Super Bowl. Brought us to 2. He brought a franchise its first Super Bowl ring. That is a success in and of itself. And so far, he's tainting his legacy. He's kind of doing what Russ is doing. He's tainting his legacy by continuing to play and continuing to be in the league. If he retires right now, he can still salvage his legacy. I mean, obviously, he's an all-time coach because he's one of 3 coaches to ever win at the college level and the pro level. So no matter what, he could have 9 straight losing seasons after this, and he would still be a GOAT because of what I just said. But it's time for him to go. It's not about what you've done. It's about what can you do now. That's what this league is about. That's about what any sports league is about. It's about what can you do now, not what have you done. That's literally it. And so far, Pete has shown that he cannot take us out of mediocrity. He has shown that we cannot go back to the NFC Championship. We have not been to an NFC Championship game since 2015. So there needs to be some change, and I do want us to rebuild. And but it's not going to happen, unfortunately. Not while Pete Carroll's head coach. And it's probably not going to happen until Jody Allen sells the team, because Jody Allen does not care enough to fire Pete Carroll. So we're stuck with Pete Carroll for the time being, and that's just how it is. And his defenses the past 5-6 years have been subpar, at best subpar. So looking at this year, as we know, Baltimore had the best scoring defense in the league. KC is second, San Francisco third. We are down here at 25th. We are at a bottom 10 scoring defense this year. Third down percentage, we were the 3rd worst in the league. That is not okay. That's defensive scheming right there. If you are constantly allowing third downs, especially a lot of these times these third downs are converted, it's because we drop into soft coverage. That's a scheming issue. That's not a player issue. That's a scheming issue, and that's all due to Pete Carroll. You can say it's Clint Hurt, but in the end, it's ultimately Pete Carroll's defense. Clint Hurt's just a pawn. He is just a pawn. So, this isn't good. And the fact that we did an in-house hire for Clint Hurt shows that it would still be Pete Carroll running the show, but he would just have Clint Hurt looking just sitting there looking good, basically. So, and he thought that Clint Hurt going up into the booth was going to work. No, our defense is literally the same as it was last year. Look at this. Look at this. It's literally the exact same. Like, identical. Literally identical. 23.6 points per game. Bottom 10 defense. And he's still going to be our coach next year. He has led, let's take a look in 2021. Where are we? Okay, we were better. We were better in 2021, but that's because our offense was trash that year. Our offense was not good that year. But the thing is 21 points. That's still not good. That's not good, especially when your offense has not been putting up the points that it needs. You need your defense to step up. And this year, our offense is the one that's been carrying our defense. 5 game-winning drives. Literally more than half of our wins are due to game-winning drives this year. So defense is just not. It's not. It just hasn't been good under Pete Carroll. It has not been good, honestly, since 2017. I think 2017 we have not had a top 10 defense. We have not had a top 10 defense since when? Like 2017? Top 10 scoring defense? That's not top 10. That we were out of that in 2017. About 2018. We haven't had a top 10 scoring. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. See, not top 10. I already did 2017. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Not top 10 in scoring. What about 2016? So the last time we had a top 10 scoring defense was when we had a top 5 scoring defense. And that was in 2016. 7 years ago. 7 years ago. 8 years ago, I think. That's not okay. That is unacceptable. And we still have him as our head coach. He honestly should have gone after he missed the playoffs in 2018 or 2017. Honestly, he honestly should have gone when we traded Russell Wilson and just started over. Like, normally when you trade your franchise QB, you should fire your head coach and just start a rebuild. But we didn't do that. And this is the reason why we're still here today, stuck in mediocrity, because we didn't rebuild. We retooled. And that's not that. And look how that's worked so far. Back-to-back seasons of mediocrity following the Russell Wilson trade. I know it hasn't gone so well for Denver either and for Russell Wilson, but it hasn't gone for us. It hasn't gone well for us either. So I'm in the same boat. I'm in the fire Pete Carroll boat as well, but he's not going to be fired. He's going to be our head coach going into next season. So, assuming that John Schneider doesn't fire him, because John Schneider does have the ability to fire Pete Carroll because he is the GM and he is the one that oversees the team. But I don't think John Schneider's going to fire him. So, there's really not much we can do here, and we're just gonna have to stick out with this for the time being. As much as I want Pete Carroll to go, I'm sorry, 12s, but he is going to be our head coach going into next year, and I don't think we're gonna do well next year. I thought we were gonna improve this year. I thought we were gonna go 11-6. I didn't think we were gonna win a division because the Niners exist, but I thought we were gonna at least be, like I said, I thought we were gonna at least be where the Eagles are in the playoff spot, the 5th seed, and not be a 7th seed, and control our own destiny. But we didn't. So, until we move on from Pete Carroll, we are most likely. I'm not gonna say definitely, but we are most likely going to be stuck in mediocrity until Pete Carroll's gone. So, it just sucks. And then you go to our offense, and our offense was middle of the pack this year. I thought our offense was going to be top 10, top 5 even this year going into the season. No. Our scoring offense was below average. That's not okay. I thought Shane Waldron was going to take a step up, but he didn't. But a lot of it's not his. Some of it's not his fault because it's just how Pete Carroll rolls. You know, Shane Waldron, obviously he runs the offense, but Shane Waldron runs it to the way Pete wants it to be run, and that's run the ball. And even then, we haven't been running the ball effectively and efficiently because our O-line has been trash this year, and it's partly because of our injuries too. We have had so many different starting lineups in the O-line, and that doesn't help with continuity and chemistry, but for the offensive linemen. So that you can blame it on injuries. We've just been unlucky with injuries this year too. But it's just not we're not going anywhere. We're still stuck in mediocrity, and we will be stuck in mediocrity, like I said, until Pete Carroll goes. We need to move on from a defensive head coach. We need an offensive head coach. Look at the Niners. Look at Shanahan's led team. Look at McVay's led team. Look at Steichen's led team. Look at who else? Look at McCarthy's led team. Look at all of these. Look at Andy Reid's led team. Look at all of these teams that are led by offensive head coaches in an offensive league today. They are winning divisions. They're making deep playoff. Sorry for the voice crack. They're making deep playoff runs, and they are winning Super Bowls. The Rams won the Super Bowl most recently with an offensive head coach. Andy Reid won the Super Bowl last year. Andy Reid won the Super Bowl back in 2019. Defensive head coaches just don't win Super Bowls anymore. The last defensive head coach to win a Super Bowl was Bill Belichick, and that was when they won against the Rams. So it's just how it is. Defensive head coaches don't work anymore. The only defensive head coach that is actually doing a good job on both sides of the ball are the Ravens, because John Harbaugh, he is a defensive head coach that values offense, and that's rare. That is rare these days now, because defensive head coaches normally don't really do well on offense. Look at Brandon Staley, got fired because he didn't know how to. First off, he didn't know how to coach a defense, and two, he didn't know how to coach an offense. Justin Herbert was still putting up Pro Bowl numbers while being hurt with a crappy coach like Brandon Staley. But defensive head coaches still can work in today's league. You just have to know how to adapt, and that's the thing that separates Pete Carroll from other defensive head coaches in today's league. Is he doesn't know how to adapt. He does not. We always run the same scheme. His scheme's predictable. We run a 3-4. We play a lot of soft zone, a lot of soft coverage, and teams just eat it up like for breakfast. That's on Pete. He doesn't know how to adapt in the league, and that's why he's got to go. And he's the oldest coach in the league. Older people are stubborn. They're stubborn to change their ways because they've been used to doing something for so long. I would know. So he's got to go, and he will go eventually. But for now, we're stuck with him. I'm gonna move on to Geno Smith. I'm gonna say this may be unpopular, may be popular. I don't know how you guys feel about it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. But I will be ending this video soon, because this is the first parter. Honestly, I think I'll talk about this in the next video. But I just want to say, it's not Geno's fault. It's not Geno's fault. Come on. What more can you ask from a quarterback that is constantly being pressured, has one of the worst O-lines in the league, and his defense cannot get off the field? What more can you ask from him? 20-9. He threw 9 interceptions. That's not he threw less interceptions than he did last season. You can't be mad at that. You cannot. Yes, he threw less touchdowns, but he didn't turn the ball over as much. 12th in QBR. That's above average. But the thing is he's an average quarterback. And that's because we have an average team. Literally, we're an average team. We have an average QB. We have an average offense, a below average defense. What does that average out? An average team, 9-8 team. Then that's not all on Geno. Yes, Geno has maybe cost us a game or two, but Geno has 5 game-winning drives this season. He is the reason why we've won 5 of our games, because he's led game-winning drives. So it is not on Geno Smith that we've gone 9-8. It is on Pete Carroll. It is solely on Pete Carroll. Because when you have a roster that you've made improvements with over the offseason and you're still mediocre, that's not a player, that's not a personnel thing, that's a coaching thing. So I don't think Geno deserves most of the blame this year. Yes, he deserves some blame. I'll give him that, but he does not deserve nowhere near as much blame as Pete Carroll and the coaching staff. So I will talk about more of this in the next video. But if you don't want to watch the next video and you've already heard enough to know that this team is not going to go anywhere unless Pete Carroll goes, if you like the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share for more Seahawks and Seattle sports content. Thank you for stopping by. Hope to see you in the next video. But if not, have a good day, and go Hawks, go Mariners, and go Kraken.